So, I'm Levi Gates with the Rag Company Podcast, and this is a special edition with the IDA membership group, basically. We're all members of the IDA, and we've all been members for a really long time. Some of us are new members. Some of us are joining. And I wanted to go around. I've got a murderer's row of some of the greatest detailers and detail minds in existence. So we will start. I'll just go around. Everybody introduce yourselves. We'll start with you, Mike.
Oh, thanks.
Tell us who you are, where you're from.
My name is Mike Phillips. I'm from Stuart, Florida. Originally, I'm Oregonian.
Yes.
And I really enjoy living in Florida. The sunny weather. It's great for the detailing industry,
Year round.
I just while I'm here, real quick on that, the first day I detailed a car after moving upon Florida, the next that day I went up and I wrote an article with one word called respect. And I said, I respect all you guys that are mobile detailers here in Florida, because within about 30 minutes of detailing this car, starting at 8 o'clock in the morning, I was drenching wet in sweat. And I was wet in sweat until the car was detailed. And I've never experienced detailing in that kind of humidity. This would be July 10th, 2009,
Wow.
in Oregon or California. So it was a real eye-opener as to what it would be like to be a mobile detailer in the summer of South Florida.
I can see that.
Yeah. My position, I am the board liaison for the Trade Show and Education Committee here at IDA. And I'm a CD, certified detailer, RT, recognized trainer. What's the other one I have?
SV,
skills validated.
You sure you got skills, Mike?
And as far as the IDA, as far as it goes, to me, this is an organization that we just did not have when I was growing up, and there were no resources like there are today. And to me, this is a foundational organization that will help anybody that wants to get into the detailing world to be successful. And it's a tool that we did not have, most of the guys here sitting at this table, as we kind of came up through the ranks. And so anybody that's joining nowadays, I'm not going to say they're going to have it easier, but just they have the resources to help them be successful. And that's what the IDA is all about. It's about education. It's about raising the status of the profession. To me, I always tell people that there's nothing wrong with having money. I think it's also about helping us to make more money, because we educate the consumer, the masses, to understand exactly what it is we do, and sometimes how hard it can be and the costs that are involved. And that's why the prices we charge as professional are higher than the prices that the hack detailers of the untrained charge. Mm-hmm. And there is a reason for it. It's not that we're trying to scalp everybody. Yeah. But that's, I guess that's the nutshell version of, I love being involved with these guys. And one of the things that I've always noticed in the detailing world is that it attracts high caliber people. Anybody that would be a troublemaker in our organization or a troublemaker in the detail industry will always be the exception to the rule, not the norm. So I think that's interesting, because anybody that starts out to become a detailer thinking they're going to get rich quick, they usually don't last very long, because it's hard work. It is hard work, and there's nothing easy about it, from the business side to the practical hands-on side, and it weeds out people that had a false idea of what it was about. So what happens is you actually get people that have a strong work ethic, and that's what I mean when it attracts people that are high caliber, because you would not last if you were a lazy bum. You just wouldn't last. Yeah. You've got to be a go-getter, and you got to be a self-starter, and you got to be a hard worker from start to finish.
Ooh, thank you.
On that note.
Didn't you just ask him?
Yeah, I know.
I did. I think that's all. Thanks. Thanks guys for coming out. All right.
My brother Mike Phillips is always a hard act to follow, right? So, my name is Bob Phillips, not the brother of Mike Phillips, but I joined the IDA 1 year after it started, but was actually one of the companies that received a call from Bud Abraham and said, "Hey, you got $250? You want to invest in this new association?" that was actually the third time that Bud had called me in my career to fund the new association. But, it really was a game-changing time. And I, am really quite honored to be sitting at the table with such incredible people, because it all happened because of the IDA. And I literally joined the IDA and was on the board for 6 years. And it changed my business and changed my career and spawned new friendships that I have now that are irreplaceable. So Mike talked about the quality of individuals in the IDA, and it's amazing. I looked, an hour ago or 2 hours ago, we had our recognized trainer meeting, and that is a select group of people in our industry that are very special and contribute a lot of free time. We've all sacrificed a lot of time for our industry, but it's so rewarding to see that the IDA is almost 964 members strong. So
let's just call it an even thousand.
Even thousand.
Yeah.
So, I'm just a piece of this puzzle, and it's a great honor to be here. So thanks for having us, Levi. Appreciate it.
No.
And that was a great follow-up to
Yeah.
Thanks.
No pressure, right?
What do you got?
And the boss. Here we go.
So how much time have we got?
You can talk as long as you
Seriously,
want.
Positions
You've held, certifications, the magic that you have.
Well, I've got the whole alphabet
Served
soup.
this.
So I
Yeah.
have
Who
the
are you?
CD, SV, RT.
They can't see you.
My name's Keith Duplessie, and I don't know what the hell I am. I'm as Humphrey Bogart said in Casablanca, I'm a drunkard, which just means my nationality is everywhere. Thank you.
That was perfect time.
I was born in a foreign country, moved to the States. I moved around a little bit.
That explains a
I've
lot.
lived in Oregon. I'm now in Texas, Dallas, Texas.
That explains
I've had the benefit of working with Bud Abraham, and one of the best distributors in our industry in the car wash business, and now work with Bob Phillips as his business development guy. I also own Detail Plus. Here's what I'm going to say about the IDA. You don't know what you're missing until you join what we're doing. I have some of the best friends I could have ever asked for in my life, and I work with one of them. I work with another one. Work with another one.
You don't
I
like
have
it,
had-
the rest of you.
Yeah.
I have relationships with some of the best individuals I've ever met professionally. I told Bob at Thanksgiving, we're kind of have those phone calls with your friends, right? What am I thankful for? And I said, Bob, it's been the most rewarding 6 months of my life. It's not because of my military service, although I'm proud of that. It's 28 years of lots of fun and experiences. It's not because of detail cars. It's because of the people. And so one of the things I'm going to talk about tomorrow night, and hopefully I won't go more than like 38 minutes or 40, whatever. Tell Cheryl. It'll be a while. This is not about your technical skill. This is not about, the IDA is not about your ability to attract new customers. The IDA is about a personal connection, because at the end of the day, everything we do in business to be successful is about a personal connection. And the personal connection that I've had to every single person at this table is unique. Joe and I were talking the other day. He made a call to me a couple years ago. I remember that phone call vividly. That doesn't happen in every business in every life. The IDA has touched me in so many ways. We say, oh, you're Mr. IDA. I'm only Mr. IDA because it has reached out and grabbed me in every way, emotionally, mentally, physically. I'd like to say I'm the world's laziest detailer, but what that really means is that I have treaded on the skills of every guy that's sitting at this table, and I've taken something from them to make my life as a professional better. Now, if that's being lazy, I'm really the world's laziest detailer. So if you want something, what's in it for you? If you're a detailer out there, what's in it for you is the personal connection. And if you don't think that has power, you're completely missing the boat. So, I have a personal connection to every guy here. Bob says I can't give away a box of cookies without getting emotional. The truth is, it's real easy to do stuff when you have no emotional connection to it. Yeah. It's harder to maintain your composure when you've got an emotional connection. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The IDA, not as this notional entity, but as a group of individuals who are passionate, professional, and care, has touched me in a way that I never thought a business would. And so that's where my love for the guys at this table, the people in this industry really is. So, we're sitting in Orlando, Florida, and 9 years ago, a group of us got together at a Denny's for all places, man. It's totally a detailer thing. And we started this thing on a shoestring budget and an idea and a hope that maybe this time it'll stick.
Yeah.
I think it's stuck. We're at 1,000 now. The goal for the IDA, I'm gonna step outside the board meeting. The goal for next year is 2,000 members when we walk in this building.
Yeah.
2,000 members. If you don't think it's about a personal connection, when the membership doubles from one year to the next, which it did over this last year, and you think it will again,
Yeah.
it's about a personal connection.
Yep.
So if you're looking for a coach, a mentor, a hero to worship, and believe me, I work with 3 of them, guys that I respect tremendously and are heroes that I worship, you're going to find it here. And, guys who say, well, but, I joined up, I paid my $110. That's great. You just paid the entry fee to the greatest experience of your life as long as you engage yourself.
Yep.
So join and then engage. When you engage, it will change your life. Good luck, Mike.
I think that was a drop on my head.
So I get to follow that. Which
Imagine if I really started drinking.
That's actually our George Patton. I mean, when Patton gets up and does his speech, man, you got to follow that.
All right, so let me.
You can top it if you start crying.
Let me. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So I do get to follow that, don't I?
Yeah.
Keith, you're a rock star, man. I have to echo a lot of what Keith said. By the way, this is Mike Stoops. I'm the senior global trainer at Mequiars, but I'm also now the co-chair of the membership committee with the IDA.
Nice.
But before
What a sucker!
Before I get too deep into this, though, I would like to say happy birthday, Bob.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bob.
I'm not going to start a round of singing because my voice frightens small children and animals, but happy birthday.
Thank you.
And I want to echo a lot of what you said, though, Keith, because $110 is the entry fee to get into the IDA.
That's it.
And that's, man, you know what? And we talk about training the detailers and getting better at your craft, but you can become the best paint polisher, you can become the best interior detailer on the planet, but at the end of the day, you have a business that you have to run. And when you look at the training courses that have been going on all day long here today, because this is really education day here at MTE, a lot of it is also about running your business.
It is.
And, if you're a doctor, you go to med school. If you're a lawyer, you've got to go to law school and pass the bar. If you're a plumber, if you're an electrician, you can be the best electrician, the best plumber, the best doctor, the best dentist. You still have a business to run. And if you're the best detailer on the planet, but you fail at running your business, you're going to fail. And the IDA is more than just about product and process. It's also going to help you be a better business person to run your business more effectively. So all that for $110, that's kind of amazing to me that you can get that. And to your point, Keith, about networking and the people. I mean, the fact that I'm sitting here on the same panel with guys that I looked up to so heavily 10 or more years ago, Mike Phillips and Jason Rose and Renny Doyle, and getting to know a lot of you other guys, Yvan and Levi and the rest of you guys over the years is really kind of amazing to me that I'm sitting here, that my career has taken the path that it's, and Mike, by the way, Mike Phillips, you think it's humid in Florida? Try detailing in Malaysia or Shanghai, China.
He wins.
I was in Shanghai, it was 106 degrees, and I didn't know you could have 300% humidity, but apparently you can, and Malaysia's even worse. And yet, around the world, it doesn't matter where you go. Jason, you've traveled all over the world as well. And detailers, I don't care where you are, we're all the same. The attitudes are the same, the challenges are the same. Unfortunately, some of the egos are the same. But you know what? When push comes to shove and you really get down to brass tacks, this is an amazing group of individuals that are within this industry, in this community. And I've had other careers outside of this industry prior to this, and there's nothing like this that I've ever experienced. That I think, perhaps fortunately, Out of everybody at this table, Renny, you're the only one who's actually kissed me.
It was a good kiss, though.
Well, that took a turn.
He remembered it.
Yeah, we gotta listen to this. We gotta listen to this.
Because of the loss of.
So what do we miss?
We're going to keep it that way, by the way.
But it's because of the loss of a beloved dog of mine, and and I say that only because that's the level of friendship that you develop within this community, and it is a community. I don't say that lightly. Everything that's brought to the table by this group, by this organization, by the IDA, is something that anybody that is serious about making a living detailing, do yourself a huge favor and look into it. You might be amazed at what you can get out of this. Because the personal relationships that help you grow and help you develop as an individual, as a detailer, as a businessman or woman, are invaluable. $110, please.
That's $110 you'll ever spend. As long as you engage.
That's right.
That's the thing. So when are you gonna join the Founders Club? I got an entry fee for it.
Application.
Right?
Here it goes.
I think I'm good at this point. I'll pass the mic off to Mr. Doyle over here.
There you go.
Oh, you missed it.
Let's get Joe in here.
Joe.
He
Joe.
helped put all this together.
So I understand you talk long, but you write short.
Short.
I do.
Okay, let's have it.
The short version.
Okay.
That's pretty short.
Wow.
That was good. That was
Whatever.
good. I didn't even hear
You
it.
know, if you're a detail, I could say this. You know, let's say what the
You gotta
detail
introduce
industry.
yourself.
Yeah, name,
My name's
position.
Joe DiFiore. I'm from Norwich, Connecticut. This is my 30th year in the detail business. And if we want to talk about, you know, what has the industry done for me? What can it do for you? Engaging in the industry, let's put it this way. My business was successful. It did well. Okay? It still continues to do well. I work it around the way I want to live my life. That's my choice. But we all, you know, life is not, you know, a level playing field. It's full of peaks and valleys. You know, and I'm a guy that looks peak to peak, you know, and I know that I got to walk through that swamp at some time. We all do, you know, to reach the reward. And, you know, there was a period in my life that was very difficult. Now, I got through that, and I look back and I say, well, wow, if I was in the IDA during that period, there was a lot of resources. When I think about the different people that are just sitting at this table that I could have reached out to. It would have made the pain go away, but instead of being, you know, a 10, maybe it could have been a 6, you know, and, you know, so it could have been better. It could have been an easier solution. And, you know, the struggles that everybody has different struggles in business and life. There's a lot of resources. It's not only that, you can just reach out. For that $110, you can reach out to other detailers, people that are actually willing to help you and coach you along and get you where you want to go. For $110, you know, it's really simple. It's really easy to come up with. It's, you know, just not going to Starbucks or some fast food thing a couple of times, and there's your membership, and that membership will pay you over and over again. And, you know, at this point in my career, I am actually the chair of the membership committee, so I didn't introduce myself that way. But, you know, I wanted to always, you know, give back to the industry. I had ideas of giving back, and this is one of the things, is being active in the industry, trying to help some of the new people that come along, people that are new to the industry, the young people. And it is more than about just detailing. Sure, you can polish a car, but what is the next tool that you buy? You know, where that money is spent is very important. You know, when that profit does come in, you know, where does it go? It's not so much as how you make, but what you keep and maybe what you don't spend. And being around people that got successful, and success is the idea of what you want in life. What's that roadmap? My idea of success. Everybody's idea of success at this table is a little bit different than what their path is. But the bottom line, it really has nothing to do with money. It has to do with relationships.
And to add to that real quick, I mean, you know, we have manufacturers at this table, we have suppliers, we have detailers. there's nobody in the IDA that's here that's not looking out to help our members be more successful. You know, you look at who's at the table. You got AutoGeek, you got, Rupes, you got PNS, you got Detail Plus, you got Mequiars, you've got Detail Progress, you've got, Detailing Success. We all have our businesses. We're all here to make, you got Rag Company.
And Optimum.
You got Optimum.
Optimum.
We're all here to make money, right? That's what our business is. But if you ask every one of us what our real business is, no, he's a detailer. I'm talking about suppliers. So if you got the suppliers here, right, we're all here to take money. That's what our job is, right? We got to make money, we got to sell. But really, if you look at every guy at this table, what's our real goal for everybody we have interaction with? It's not to take money from them, it's to make them successful. Exactly. Because if they're successful and they're successful with our help, that'll help it. That'll take care of itself. Every person here gets that.
Yeah.
And everybody in the association, the detailers who are here today, they get that too. That we're invested in you being successful. Because if the detailing industry isn't successful, we all go away too.
Right.
And so I think that's a really key point. The members are out there saying, "Oh, you're all manufactured at that table. You're just trying to sell us something." You're damn right I am. I'm trying to sell you on being successful yourself. Invest in yourself and be successful. So, Joseph hit it right on the mark. What are you looking to get out of your business? And for every guy who's detailing, it's a different answer. But at the end of the day, I promise you that the suppliers that are involved in this industry that are on the IDA, we're here because we want you to be successful. You'll buy from us 5% or 10% of what you have. But if you're successful, we all are successful as an industry. That rising tide's lifting all boats. And Joseph hit it right on the head. Whatever you're looking for out of your business, there's somebody here who wants to see you be successful, whatever that is.
Yeah, I mean, I could leave it with this. There's one thing, if you want to be a successful people will make habits of the little things that failures fail to do. And if you're a detailer and you're serious about your industry, it's a mistake not to join. So if you want to be a success, there's no reason to fail because there's plenty of people to get you there. And I'm one of them.
Yep,
Awesome.
you are.
Nice.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Renny?
Hey, Renny Doyle, Detailing Success. Wow. SV, Skills Verified, and then Recognized Trainer, also part of the Founders Club. I'm gonna go a little bit backwards, and a lot of people might know. I go back with detailing organizations back to Southern Cal, back into the 90s. And so when the IDA popped up, I was very critical of three people at this table right now: Bob Phillips, Keith, and Prentice.
What?
And the thing I wanted is, I said, hey man, we have been fleeced time and time and time again from organizations over the last couple decades.
We have.
And I'm not going to come on and back this thing until I see that this is for real. But the only reason I'm having the discussion with you right now, that I even care, is because the three of you are involved. Because we never had that dynamic before. We never had three power hitters with a universal view on bettering the industry. There was always some kind of other angle. Does that make sense? And it wasn't a bad angle necessarily, but it was just an angle. And for the first time, we had three individuals that were putting their heart and soul into it. Kind of another reverse. So a lot of people didn't do that. And then I remember coming to Bob. Bob was the first one. And he goes, what are you thinking? I said, I'm ready to sign up. He goes, are you really? And I said, not only are you willing to sign up, I want to go the full distance. You guys have killed it. And we haven't stopped since, nor will we. The other take is I made a smart comment just a little while ago so we get more money. No, you know what? That's exactly it. Is you look around this table, and except for one, we're all getting up in age. Two, excuse me, Levi, you're pretty young too.
Yeah, young.
But we're all sorry, we're out of check.
Check your age.
Sorry, I know. So here's the deal: is that we're in our 40s and 50s. Whether we say it or not, we don't want you guys to struggle and go through the bullshit that we had to go through. We just don't. There's no need for it anymore. There's some really powerful people sitting at this table now with really powerful people that back us and allow us to do this, that are completely 100% vetted and interested in making this a better industry, period. That's our mark on this, what we leave behind. is that I don't want the young guys that I train and mentor, I don't want Justin to have to face, I want him to be where I was when I was 50, when he's 40. I want him to do it a decade before I did it. I want to leave my mark and see people that are prosperity. The other thing is, why don't you join? You don't join? 110. Okay, here I'm going to give you an illustration. I got 4 freaking kids. I've raised 4 kids by not having a corporate job, by going out and having to be a hunter every day of my life for the last 38 years. I had a corporate job for 5 years of my life and I hated it. But you know what? I raised 4 kids. I bought property. I invested. I set retirement aside. I went on vacations. I did all these different things from the very industry that we're in. And if you can't invest to back up this industry, you shouldn't be in this industry. Honestly, if you're going to only take from this industry, you're never going to make it. I hate to say it. You're just not. If your mentality is just to take and not put back in, you're missing the point. You're missing the complete point of this. Is at some point, if you want to be one, then you know what? You're going to have to turn around and make one. You're going to have to reach back and pull the people up that are coming behind you and help them be what you wanted to be, what you now are. But first, you got to be that one. You got to develop yourself into somebody that is notable and honorable and has worked hard and has worked honestly and has done your part in bettering this industry. So don't tell me, when I hear that, why would I want to join? What's it got for me? What's it not got for you? You got to invest. It's your future. It's your kids. It's your everything. If you're in this industry, you got to invest in the industry. You just can't take and make money, take out of it, and leave it. That's what was wrong with the old industry part. We all watched that go down, where it was just a bunch of Buck Brigade people seeing what they could make out of it, and then they vanished. We're past that point. We're past that point. So what do you want to get out of it? What do you put into it? That's what you're going to get out of it. You want to take and make more. Why should you be certified? Because you market the hell out of it, because most people aren't. And you know what? If you start marketing and telling your community and your market that it's important, pretty soon they're going to see value in that, and you're going to be at the tip of the spear in your market, and you're going to own that. Simple as that. So you know what? Don't tell me. Okay, I'll get a little blunt. If you don't have $110 or $200 or $500 to support your business, you shouldn't be in business. I'm just going to lay it out there like it is. Any professional, you want to talk about, citizen soldier, both of us volunteer right here, brother.
Yep.
Both of us. If you're in the Guard, you're in the Reserves, you served, search and rescue, all these different things, is that I put thousands of dollars of volunteer hours and money into my own equipment. And go out and hang it on the edge to go out and help people. Is if you're not a giving spirit, I guess you don't see value in it. But you know what? If you want to make like Joe, you want to make an impact, it starts here. It starts now, because we're on a movement and we're going to do it with you or without you. But we sure would like to have you.
Yep.
Well said.
Well said.
Yep. Damn.
Just to add on to that, I think the thing that's so interesting is the fact that the youth movement, if we want to call us the old guys, but the youth movement in the industry is more inspiring. We see shops. You used to go out and be the leader, show a guy how to do his
Now
job.
they're showing us.
You go to shops, you're like,
Wow,
Wow.
these guys are really good. It's like, I cannot even hang here, And they're giving you respect, and you're like, really? I don't think I deserve respect.
So
it's very
we
inspiring.
laid that down. And
Yes.
on the separate side of that too, these guys got to be very cautious of that too, because I see a lot of shops going in that are way overbuilt, and these guys need to be seeking some mentorship. It's great right now when the economy's going fantastic, but the first little hiccups and people are going to be in trouble.
We're the first thing down the tubes.
Yeah.
It's a luxury business. You have to come to the realization who needs us.
But I don't think we're going to be to that as it has been in the past. Even in 08 when the economy blew up, I think we're going to be hit when the economy slows down. But I think that we have taken and become like a maid service.
Established.
Yeah, we become more like a lawn care. There's lawn care, there's some things I'm not going to go without, and that's one of them. I'm mowing my own yard. At this point in my life, I ain't going to do it. I have no interest in it.
Well, we've talked
I
about
don't
this a
have time.
bunch. Renny and I spent some time together this summer and more time. And we always come back to this, where's the industry? And the industry really, 10 years ago, was still in its infancy as far as the retail market goes. But we're not. We're past our adolescence. We're into our early 20s, if you will. We've grown up. We're mature enough that we're making some good decisions. We still make some poor ones, but
Not too many.
we've grown up enough
Not
that
as many.
people are looking at things a little more soundly. They're asking the question, okay, I'm booming. What's going to happen when I don't?
Right.
And the other bonus is there are a bunch of us who are in our 40s and 50s who are asking the question of those who are in their 20s and 30s, hey, what happens when?
Yeah.
And because of that interaction, that personal connection we've made through the IDA, we're like, dude, and Yvonne, you're one of those guys, right? You had, how many shops did you have?
We had 26 at one point.
Right. And
Jesus.
so Yvonne's like, dude, just so you know, in 2008, and things went to hell, you might want to ask these questions of yourself because if you're thinking about having this empire, you got to ask the question, what happens when? And that doesn't happen because Yvonne's a nice guy. That happens because he's like, dude, I went through that and I don't want anybody else to go through it. No. And he cares about the industry and he wants to see everybody be successful. The coolest thing about this association is we get together and we're like, dude, what are you doing now? And you ask a guy and he's like, man, I'm doing this and this and this. And people are legitimately excited for other people's success.
Bingo.
Now, 15 years ago, 10 years ago,
Yeah.
I'm telling you what, this group right here, not one of you motherfuckers would have talked to each other. Pardon my French, but not one of you guys would have talked to each other. We would have looked at each other and said, that's the enemy.
Yeah.
And you want to know what's the common denominator? What are the three letters that are the common denominator?
International Detailing Association.
I don't know why it happened. I don't know how it happened. It was a confluence. It was time, whatever. Kismet, the planets aligned. I don't care. I know that I wrote a lot of personal checks out of either time or money, and Bob Phillips and a bunch of guys who were here in day one and ever since have written a lot of personal checks, and that's happened.
Yeah.
But it's the coolest thing that's happened in this business, probably since we figured out that if you put a compound on a wool pad and a buffer on a car, you can make stuff shiny.
You know what's other cool too is, I don't know if you guys have recognized this either, but the people that are coming through, whether they're our age, in their 40s or 50s, or in their 20s, they're educated.
Yeah.
We're bringing in college grads with either bachelor's or master's degree at a huge level. And I think that tells you where the industry's come from and where it's going.
Yep.
It's becoming, detailing used to be a job, now it's becoming a profession.
It
Right.
is.
Good
It's
point.
becoming an avocation and a
Good
vocation.
point.
Yeah.
And,
Or a career.
It
Yeah.
is.
A career.
And it is a thing that, today a college degree doesn't mean what it meant 30 years ago. And so having a skill set and a profession and an ability to generate business and be productive is really what it's about. And there's a huge opportunity in this industry. I mean, I am so excited to see him 20 years from now. When I see Justin 20 years from now,
He's gonna look
I
at
don't
shit.
even know.
He's going to be retired 20 years from now.
Well, but I'm just excited. Look old.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Ivan's onto something. He knows what's up.
And in
Yeah.
20 years from now, what I hope happens is that Bob and I are sitting at a table going, wow, this is cool. And nobody knows who the hell we are. But they see guys
Dude,
like
we're gonna
you.
be
And
dust.
we're gonna be
That's what we're
But hopefully we'll be skiing and you'll be doing this. And
Yeah.
But I'm just excited to see what the young guys in this industry are getting in at 10 years ahead, 20 years ahead of where I am. Is going, boy, man, I can't imagine what's going to happen. It's going to be hard work. It's going to be a slog. And he's a grinder. He's going to get there. But I just can't imagine how cool it's going to be in 20 years.
different world.
Yeah.
We're on president number 10 of the IDA. So we're hitting our decade mark. He's not the 10th president because we've had a couple double term guys. He's number 8. But he's year 10. Nobody thought we'd get to year 2.
Yeah.
But he's a year 10. At the end of year 10, we're going to finish our decade, dude. Look at the board you have. Look at the committee chairs you have. Look at the industry that you get an opportunity to stand in front of and be the leader.
No pressure, man. Don't.
Yeah,
worry.
don't worry
So
about it.
then why are you leaving?
But see, that's the beauty of it.
He'll be around.
The guys who are
I
on the
know.
board before you, we're friendly old ghosts. We're here. We're not going anywhere. So if you ask us what's in it for me, man, there's all these guys who are still here. We're not going anywhere.
Even if you want to get rid of them.
Yeah. I don't really have another job, so I'm not looking for work.
Yeah, you'll probably in about 2 months you're gonna like, why won't these guys leave?
Careful what you wish for.
I never wish that upon you, Keith.
The only guy in a
Mr.
red
St.
shirt.
Clair.
Your turn.
Yeah, the only guy in a red shirt. What the heck is going on with that? I don't
Yeah, it's
know.
Good
Well, you know, the
Friday.
funny thing is, I'm wearing a shirt that belongs to somebody else's company. That's one of the things that the IDA does for you.
That's cool, man.
Is the friendships and the relationships. Okay, so you know, following these guys.
Who are you?
I don't know. Who am I? I'm Prentice St. Clair,
There you
Detail
go.
in Progress, San Diego, California. I sat on the first board of directors for 6 years.
God help you.
I wrote the code of ethics. I helped write the certified detailer tests. What else did I do? I've been involved with
You helped write the bylaws with a few of us.
that's true.
That's true.
Involved with a lot of aspects of this company. That's great. I know how to write. I have a master's degree, whatever. Anyway, so what really has driven my participation in the International Detailing Association is, and I'll tell you guys right now, I probably wouldn't know personally anybody at this table if it wasn't for the International Detailing Association. So if you say, what's in it for me? What's in it for you is getting connected with people like these people at this table. That's what's in it for you, okay? And if you're not getting connected with them, you're not getting involved. You need to get in there, dive in, come to Mobile Tech Expo, come to Southwestern Car Wash Association, come to Detail Fest, come to SEMA, come to all the things that the International Detailing Association is entrenching itself in, and I can say that because I'm the chair of the Trash Show EdCom
Yes.
Trade Show and Education Committee, which I took over from Keith. He laid a great foundation.
Wrecked it good for you.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks. Wrecked it. Anyway,
Don't even go there.
so what?
Wrecked them. Hell, I damn near killed him.
And that's another cool thing about the IDA is we have lots of humor and lots of fun. So it's never coming back. Thanks, guys. Good night. Yeah. No, anyway, it's about the relationships that you develop, and I have business relationships with several people at this table, and those business relationships are profitable. And the reason I have those relationships is because I joined the IDA a number of years ago, and I got involved right away, big time. Dove right into the board.
Oh, yeah.
You want to get involved? Get on the board. You're going to be involved more than you want. And those relationships have also been developed with lots of ancillary members in the IDA. For example, last summer, my family and I took a trip to Michigan. We visited one friend in Grand Rapids, went to the Upper Peninsula. We went out to, and that was John Rudell, who's a member. And then we went out to Rochester, Michigan. And
Yeah, it's my hometown.
There you go. And visited Greg Sweat. Well, what other industry are you going to be visiting friends, competitors in the detailing industry and hanging out with them, having fun? Okay? So that's what the IDA is about. And if you ask the question, what's in it for me? That's the wrong question. The question you want to ask is, what can I do for my industry?
There you go.
That's the question.
That's not what your country can do for
You say it prettier than I
you.
do.
I mean, you can do for your country.
You know, if you think about
You
Not always.
say it prettier than
You
I
got a
do.
little more edge, Renny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got. Wait, can I borrow your sunglasses? Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. What
Oh,
can
that-
I do for my industry?
That's much better.
Yeah,
Right,
That's,
right?
it. That's
That's
it.
my- okay.
That's it. Yeah, that's a lot better.
That's all I got.
Pretty much
You know,
what
you
I
think
said.
about relationships, though. I mean, I've mentioned this to you a couple times. I got in the industry, in business. I opened in 1988, and there wasn't really much of anything to look for. You just had to wallow around and try to figure things out. It took me 3 years to figure out how to make money, and
That was quick.
it was very
That
difficult.
was a short path.
I thought it was very difficult. I used to lean my head on the garage and said, "Why?" But I did not want to work for corporate America.
Right.
I wanted, you know, in the whole thing was, so once I got going and I was like, oh, it's working out, and I had some help and all that. 1993, I would get these. Well, earlier I would get the car washing I think it was the car wash magazine. You were in the International Car Washing Association.
Yeah.
Something like that. Way back, had nothing to do with detailing. And so I would get these
PCD, professional car
magazines
washing
would come in the mail, and I open it up and I'm like, okay, car wash.
Like
and then
3
I see
pages out of 80.
attention to detail,
Right.
and there's like, I think initially it was maybe a half a page, if that.
Yeah.
And there I see Prentice St. Clair. I'm like, who is this guy? and I'd read what he had to write, and I go like, oh, I'm doing that. Geez, I haven't thought of that. And I started, this is kind of cool. There's something for detailers. I said, there's nothing for us. And I'd rip the pages out, and I'd save them. I had a folder, and then I discovered Bud. Somewhere, I don't know who was first, you or Bud. And we'd read those, and that was a sounding.
Bud was always
so
first.
we fast
First and last.
forward this, and today, and so here I am sitting at a table with a guy that actually literally helped me out. I mean, how should I not be able to get there?
Oh, Prentice.
Let me switch chairs with you
But
guys.
it's helpful. That was really a help. You look and you say, hey, there's somebody else.
Yep.
I mean, you had an insight
the same
into the
thing.
industry.
I used to read all
You
this
know,
stuff.
But that's
How could one person possibly know everything?
No.
I had some, really wonderful intuitive skills that I was blessed with, but I couldn't possibly know everything.
we've been
It was
talking
really great.
We've talked a lot about what you can do for the industry rather than what the industry can do for you. And Prentice, you just experienced. How long ago did you read this?
1993.
Okay, so we go back all this time, 20 plus years, and
25.
looking at your face as he's saying this, you've got this thing where like, it touched you.
Yeah.
Okay, and when you're
And you
doing
sunglasses.
things for other people, when you're helping other people, and I know Mike Phillips, Jason Rose, with all the training that the two of you and that I've done globally, and Renny that you've done, and Yvan, I know you do a lot as well. When you get that call or that email from somebody months down the road that's like, hey man, I just needed to reach out and say thank you because something that you brought to my attention that I hadn't thought about, and we can all do this in varying degrees, but when you get that call, and we've all had that call weeks or months later, not 25 years later when I'm sitting right in front of you, Prentice.
What? What did he say? That's pretty cool.
He didn't put his phone number in the article.
Thank
And
God.
he forgot to leave his email address.
But you detailers out there, you know that satisfaction when you've got a car that's fighting you, and you've got to come up with whatever you need to do, and it's like, man, I thought outside the box, and I kicked this thing's butt, and I got that shine that I was looking for. That sense of satisfaction that you get with that is actually surpassed by the sense of satisfaction that you get from that phone call or that email or that text message from an individual who tells you, dude, you helped me tremendously with my business, my life, my career, my well-being. And that sounds almost a little over the top to say it, but you've gotten those.
We get it.
We get it,
yeah.
and it's an amazing feeling. And even on a lesser degree, anybody that can help anybody else, and that's a big part of what this organization is everybody out there getting together and helping everybody else. That alone is a pretty doggone cool thing to feel. That's incredibly rewarding.
Amen.
Yeah.
Well, it is, and that's where celebrating other people's success.
Yeah, yeah.
Look, that rising tide, man, that's a huge deal. And to see other people come here, and you saw them last year. I didn't see any of you guys last year because
Well, we all saw you.
I was
Yeah,
you.
we
You saw me,
you.
and you're like, turn it off. But,
Nothing like watching a grown man cry in a uniform.
I'm telling you, I'm not wearing the uniform this year, but I'll try for you.
On cue. He's wearing a uniform.
But 2 years ago, to see some of the folks and see, hear their struggles, or hey man, I'm just trying to figure it out, and you come back and you're like, dude, I'm killing it, I'm slaying it. I went to Renny's training, or I had Prentice come out, or I went to the Bigfoot seminar at this distributor, and I'm working with these guys now, and I'm an OptiCoat guy, and to hear these guys say, man, it's changed my business.
Or
it's
it's
like,
changed my life.
it's changed my life.
Yeah.
Amazing.
When a guy walks up to me and says, "Bead maker, I put that crap on everything," and you're like, "Dude," I said, "How's it working for you?" He's like, "Man, it's changed my business." I'm like, "That's the coolest thing."
Yeah.
To hear him say, "I went to Mike Phillips boot camp, and he kicked my ass for 3 days, but you know what? I'm making money now." I was like, "That's the coolest thing ever." I mean, it's better, and I've been a sales guy for a long time. It's like, that's way better than selling something. And I've built equipment for a long time, you know, building the guy's detail shop. It's really cool. When I get down, I'm like, dude, check this shit out. But when I hear somebody's success, like Justin's, and I'm like, dude, that's cooler. And it is. And so when you ask, what's in it for me? What's in it for you is being able to celebrate that success with your peers. Because you're part of this program. I mean, you're part of the association.
If you're serious, I mean, why would you go get your hair cut and they're not a licensed stylist? Why would you go to an unlicensed
I'm
mechanic?
screwed if I have to go to get my hair
would you
cut.
want to buy a house from
Haircut?
I mean, would you go to a real estate agent that's not part
looks
of
like
their
you did go to-
association?
I gotta get licensed.
You know, an association,
around the table.
you know,
Yeah,
there's
Mike was
certifications,
the
but
only
it
one.
also keeps you up to date on what's going on.
That's right.
I will
And
say
so,
this,
and if you're not gonna spend $110, then you're not serious about your association.
Yeah.
You know,
Jason?
Joe,
Jason? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Jason.
We're
We should
gonna,
move it.
we gotta get, we gotta
one
get
more
them going.
comment.
It could be
Joe-
3-hour event.
Joe,
but-
thank you so much for that.
Okay, we're gonna give out the talk pillow
Yeah.
from now on.
Thank you so much for the comments about the articles. You know, one of the reasons I wrote those back in the early days is because I came into this industry with some advanced degrees and some experience, and I realized this industry needs help, big time. And so I gave, and one of the ways I gave was writing articles, getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning and typing away and trying to get that done.
They were helpful.
So
I used
you
them for
saying that to
training.
me is huge to me. Now, what does that translate to all of you people out there listening to this podcast? Do the same thing for the other people in the industry with what you got now.
Right.
Jason.
Yes.
Just
What do you
You
got?
got the talk
Do
What do you
pillow.
got, Jason?
Just
Will
the
you
talk
do
pillow.
something with
get
the
to-
industry, Jason? For God's sake, help us.
Would you do something?
Can I talk into
Tribute.
can I talk into the hairy mic now?
Okay.
Okay, Jason Rose, Rupes, and CDSV, RT, and I've been involved for several years. I got in kind of after most of you guys, and I feel like those of us that joined recently were standing on the shoulders of giants, because it's just amazing to follow up from what you, Keith, Bob, and Prentice, what you've done. Fabulous association, but I'm in it for two main reasons. One, of course, is to give back, and I don't want any detailer to go through the 12 years of professional detailing that I went through. I was alone, was not connected, did not get any support from my distributor. I had to learn everything on my own. I don't want any detailer to go through that, and this association is directly helping detailers so they don't experience what I went through. That's one reason. And I'm fully engaged in the IDA. And the other main reason, which I'm very, very passionate about, is this is a great time for detailing. This is a really, really good time. I've watched what's happened in detailing for the last 30 plus years, and I'm here to tell you, those detailers that joined or started your business within the last 5 years, you have no idea.
Amen.
They are lucky.
Amen.
And
So
that's
this
not
is-
a bunch of old guys being angry.
No.
That's just
No.
us trying to be honest with you.
We're
Yeah.
happy for you.
It is a
Yeah,
great time
exactly.
to be a detailer. There are millionaires in this business. There are people that are putting their kids through college, waxing and polishing cars. And this is a great time to be in this business. But one of my things I'm really, really super passionate about is I've been blessed and I have the privilege of experiencing detailing in other countries. So what's happening in the United States is very exciting for me as a detailing enthusiast, but I want this for detailers in other countries. I want this, even at this table, I would love to have the detailers in Malaysia and Thailand and Norway. I want them to feel what we feel right now, to feel this connection, and to get this benefit of having a network. Because guess what? There are very passionate detailers anywhere in the world. I meet them all over the place. And they go through the same struggles, the same issues, the same challenges. And this association, my vision is I really want to see it flourish in other countries. So I'm focused on the international part of the International Detailing Association, and that's I hope I leave my mark in that area.
And that's gonna be the biggest part of who and what we become in the next 10 years.
I agree.
And Jason, you're leading that charge, and you're the tip of the spear, and man, thank you.
Why-
You're picking up the ball what we did,
That's
but
what
you're
we
taking
did.
it, offshore, and that is huge. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm trying my best.
And now, the new Mr.
President.
President.
Mr. President.
Who also happens to be the youngest guy at the table.
And the most
Right, so say something.
The reflection artist.
The prettiest.
So
no-
I
no
guess
pressure.
again, being the younger guy,
And who are you?
being the Justin Labato, 10 years in the detail industry.
You started
new-
when you were 5?
I actually, when I started in the industry, I was unemployed. So I went from 0 to where I'm at now.
To hero.
Zero to hero.
Zero to hero.
And that was a good drive for me. But overall, the perspective is not much different. The vision is, everything that you guys touched on is the same vision that we all have. Obviously, that's why we're at this table. But to have a chair at a table of well-seasoned juggernauts of this industry
I think you just called us old.
You did.
Pretty much, yeah.
that everybody has looked to, whether it was for videos. You falling asleep on me, man?
No, I'm just kidding. Give Mike a break.
Went back when with Renny online, with Stoops, Rose, you guys, even when you were back at Mequiars, from all the accumulated information that was out there, and the driving force for guys like myself that in my downtime in my early years, I got proactive and got on those, and it inspired me to move forward. And then coming ironically to this show being my first national big show that had to do with detailers, and when my local box truck guy told me that this was a show for detailers, I was stoked. I showed up, and I seen Mike, I seen the Mequiars guys. This is
Back then.
back then.
Back. We just refer to that as back then.
That was back then. But to see these things, and then I seen the IDA.
National president.
And it just hit home for me, because even in my hometown, I knew that detailing for me as a detailer in what we call the trenches now, it's a different perspective. It's not an easy business. You get so involved in the craft that you lose focus in how to be a entrepreneur, how to be a business person, how to make money, and as soon as I seen IDA, I saw business. And that right there, I just knew that minimal investment, I could afford that. I mean, there's so many people that have stupid habits, a couple drinks on the weekend, smoking cigarettes. They could save that, and boom, right there's your freaking yearly
I'm not stopping
membership.
that.
I wouldn't. Whoa, cigars. You went a little too far there. No,
I got a box for you. You're all
but
right.
the point being is that
Right on, bro.
Right there.
I would have never met these gentlemen, these individuals that have pioneered our industry far enough to where we are now, but I would have never done that by coming to this show and getting involved with the IDA. And as far as people who question the IDA, to me, that's ignorance. That's like, going to college and questioning your professor. It's
Well, it
just
depends on where you're at. Are you in California or are you?
yeah, but overall, I mean, the value that it brings, the networking, the people that you can meet, the idols that are in the industry that you get to become team members with, friends with, relationships.
Love that.
There's and that's the thing. You end up with this is if you can't make more withdrawals than deposits, or you don't get your return on investment.
That's good. I like that.
And that's what this is. You've got to invest your time. You've got to roll with these people. If you want to see change in the industry, that's what I seen. I seen the struggle of me as a detailer and other detailers not getting paid their worth and their value. So with me, I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a change. And then it was like, you know what? Screw a change. I'm going to make a legacy. I want to align myself with the guys who've outlined it for us, and not only outlined it for us, but I want to align myself with them, learn from them, because the only way you're going to get into this is building value for yourself. So in order to capture that value, I need to pick each and every one of your brains, and I can't just do that by hanging out on your belt loop. I need to build a personal relationship and foundation in order to get that. And by getting that will allow me to help continue what you guys have struggled for and pioneering and leaving a legacy for all of us.
Damn, he just went
Amen.
on.
Thank God, Mr. President.
Very well said. So says the president, so say us all.
So hey, you young guys that just listened to that, what 4 years ago we met here?
I met Renny Doyle at Mobile Tech 2014, and he was standing in front of his Air Force One sign. I didn't know. Now check this out. I didn't know a lick about him doing any training. I knew Mike Phillips did training. I knew about AutoGeek, but I knew nothing about Renny's training. We hit it off by just conversation. Diana, my wife, hit it off by conversation. Then he told me about his training. Then I got intrigued by it. Same thing with meeting Bob Phillips. I had no idea that he was the owner of PNS. I didn't even know what PNS was. Seriously, I'm an East Coast guy. Well, guess what?
We're working on it.
Well, ironically, getting involved with him, meeting Bob, and me and Bob had a great relationship over chapstick on the nose of Air Force One.
Wow.
That's how we made it shine, Renny. Just so you know. We
We
had to improvise.
We had a silicone-free
But
product. We needed
overall, no.
silicone.
And when I came to the show, I got in because of my Carbright distributor, who we've all made relationships with now. Again, it's all about building relationships. But he introduced me to you and David at the time when you guys were working the Mequiars booth. And then that just kind of rolled out. But the point being is that the whole IDA thing, the level of investment, that $110, that is so minimal. And why would somebody even ask, what is it going to do for me? No, what are you going to do to help that everyday struggle of trying to get your worth? Yep. And then when that value is there, when I hang those certificates on my wall, even that is just bragging rights against your competition. Yep. And not only that, when you have a client that moves out of state, you could be like, oh yeah, by the way, I know somebody in Virginia. There's a CD or skills validated person right here. Boom, referral. And it allows you to get these network with people to do a referral to keep them within a professional range so they don't get jaded. And we turn this gypsy community into a professional craft. And that's what it should be. We need to be recognized as a craft, just like plumbers, just like electricians. We are true professional car care specialists, and that's what we need to be recognized as, and that's what I personally feel my drive is for. Whether I'm in the president's seat or I'm just pushing and having as many titles as I could get in this industry to make that happen.
Well, you're in the president's seat now, baby. Run it.
Sit in the seat,
All right,
baby.
Yvonne, you're next, and then I'll close it out.
Well, so, Bob, you thought you had it hard following Mike Phillips. Well, I got to follow 9 people. 9 great people, I should say.
Some of us were drunk. It's okay.
Yeah. No. Yvan Lacroix or Yvan Lacroix, depending on where you're from. Optimum Polymer Technologies. I was at the original board meeting for the IDA.
Yes, you were. Yeah.
And the IDA has been in my heart since day one. The IDA, like everybody has said here, it's not what the IDA can do for you, it's what you can do for the IDA. And just about every presentation that I do, that is snuck in there somewhere. Sometimes deliberately, or sometimes it just comes out, but never discreetly. The IDA is extremely important to this industry in very many ways. Like everybody has touched on, it's relationships, it's getting to know each other, it's support, it's growing the industry beyond what we all thought it could be. I got into this industry a little differently. Justin, you got into it like many people do. You needed a job, you needed something to do, you got into this industry. It's an easy access industry. I got into it as a business proposition. I knew what I was getting into. It was an investment, it was getting into it as a business. And not many detailers start out with that vision. And that's how I started. And when I'm teaching, when I'm doing stuff, we do the podcast, the Optimum one, it's all about growing businesses. It's all about making detailers successful. I'm lucky. I had my detailing business, that's great. Now, I have the same title as Jason Rose. How cool is that? Global Director of Training.
At Bigfoot? Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Not same company, but same title.
Wrong colors.
Yeah.
So you take the trash out also?
Yeah, exactly.
Sweeps the floors, takes the trash out.
Rupes coat.
Yeah. So we get to fly all over the world, meet people, Oh, by the way, I didn't say where I'm from. So I'm from Granby, Quebec, but currently I live in a bus. So
OptiForce to be exact.
yeah.
OptiForce
So I drive around.
OptiForce One, yeah.
I drive around North America in a bus, getting to meet people, visiting detailing shops, and seeing how their operations work, and hopefully trying to make them better. And now I'm, because of Optimum, flying around the world doing the same thing. And like Jason said, we have a lot of knowledge around this table, and there's a lot of knowledge around the world. One of my favorite people in this industry is from Saudi Arabia, and he's actually here this weekend. Some of you guys know him, Faisal Al-Balushi. The guy's 30 years old. He's got the knowledge beyond his years by at least 30 years. He's incredible what he knows. But he's locked away in Saudi Arabia. We need to bring people like that into this organization to really bring, the I, make it a really big capital I. And that's my goal is, same as Jason's, is to make the international really international. When the IDA started, I was the I in international because I was the only one that wasn't from the USA.
Foreigner on the board, dude.
I was the only foreigner in the place, and the $110 or $146 Canadian is really
Not that you know the exchange rate.
not that I know the exchange rate, but
So don't give me crap about 110.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you Americans, you got it easy, but it's nothing if you can't afford $110 to further your business, and get out of business. Go start working at Walmart. Get a job at McDonald's. You're not going to get anywhere if you can't budget $110 a year. $110 a year is nothing.
$9 a month.
Yeah,
Future.
they're even better. And not only that,
We don't have installments.
there's a lot of other investments that you can do with the IDA that are even more important. Your CD test,
Oh yeah.
your skills validation. Those are two tests. When you're a member, they're only $400. That's $400 worth of knowledge. That's $400 worth, like Justin said, of bragging rights. Those are two pieces of paper you can put on your wall. Those are two patches you can put on your shirt, whatever, that you can show your customers and that you can tell your customers and you can be proud of. A lot of people, they're proud of their business, they're proud of things, but you can be proud of being a member of the IDA. The IDA really has a lot to give back to you. And, everybody asks, what's the IDA going to do for me? Well, the IDA is going to make you a better detailer. The IDA is going to make you a better business person. The IDA is going to make you a bunch of friends. It's going to make you part of a network that is strong, that is growing, that is getting stronger every day, that is growing better, that is making relationships. Everyone around this table, I know who they are. And it's not because of Facebook. It's not because of anything else except the IDA. So, yeah.
Awesome. Excellent.
So,
Excellent.
Yeah.
Levi,
And
So-
one thing before
Go ahead,
we start.
Keith.
So, y'all want to know how committed we are? There's nobody in this building but the group of people sitting around this table.
Yeah.
It is 10:30 at night in Florida on a Friday night at a trade show. Now, I guarantee you go to any trade show in the world, especially a car wash show, at 10:30 at night on a Friday night, and every single one of those guys is hammered at a bar.
and the next building over, there's parties going like crazy.
Everything's going. But
We're
these
having more
people at
fun
this
here.
table are enjoying each other's company, and they're here for you. I mean, every one of these guys is not here for themselves.
Yeah.
They've all got their own success. And most of us could walk away from this table today and not need the success that the IDA helps bring us. We're here for you. So if you want to know what our commitment is, you're looking at it. So what's in it for you?
You're hearing it.
What's in it for you is the people around this table and 1,000 more like us. 1,000 more like us are all willing to do the same thing. That's what's in it for you. My question is, are you in it in the same way? And if you are, join up, become part of the team, and do this. And finally, dude, thank you for hosting this thing tonight.
Yeah, Levi. Red Company. Thank you. Let me add one thing to that. Sorry.
Go for it. You're good.
President,
You're good.
Yeah.
And for those that, everything about the relationships, the intellectual part of this, there's a lot of people we're going to touch with that. But for the people who want to hear about the money side, as somebody who's walked through it all and learned from it, knowledge is power. There is more knowledge here from all of these people that you're going to get more than enough to set you with a toolbox that will earn you more money than you want to earn if you just make it happen. Going through trainings, Mike's trainings, Renny's trainings. Me personally, it was Renny's training. I went from, this industry of 10 years of now, what I used to make in a week, I can make in a day. What I used to make in a month, I can make in a week. And that didn't happen because I did it by myself. It was because of everybody within the IDA and everybody who I made relationships with along the path were all IDA members that helped promote that. And I got a little golden nugget from every last one of them that were all IDA members that helped the growth of that financially. So for those who are in a position where they're worried about the financial part, well, there's more than enough money to be made out there with all that knowledge, because the more you learn, the more you earn.
The IDA,
and that's what we're here for.
The more you earn.
Yeah.
The IDA is not a cost; it's an investment.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is, and you'll
Yeah.
get that with all the knowledge that we have. You will make your money back and some. And the business side is just ridiculous, especially if you learn from the right people that have obviously got things set in stone that we know, such as Renny and people like that have organized something that's bigger than, along with the IDA and everything else that falls in line with that.
Thanks, Justin. I appreciate that. And I'm excited for this next year.
Yes.
What you're going to do.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate you having
I
me
just
back.
want to say I'm Levi Gates with the Rag Company, and I am blessed to be sitting in a room with you guys. I'm been a member of the IDA for, this is my almost my third year. Started my third year. I got a CD, I got an SV, and hopefully next month I'll be a new RT. And for me, I was always the detailer, just like Jason, by myself, alone, trying to figure things out. And I've been a detailer for 20 years, and I used to read Prentice's articles as well, Joe, just like you.
Dude, you're
and I started reading your articles in '99, 2000, and read them in Auto Laundry, and read them all the way through until I actually got to finally meet you at SEMA at an IDA meet and greet and tell you about it and shake your hand and tell you.
You're so disappointed you stopped reading them.
And Renny and I used to live in the same town, and I used to watch and see the work he did and see the training, but I was always too chicken to do it and sign up for it. Yeah, I'd watch him check it out and see. We'd see each other at the Port of Subs, and I'd wave. And he was always gracious. He never knew who I was, but he'd always wave back and say hi.
I thought he was a stalker.
Yeah. And, he was. And Yvan was the first guy to actually, once I started my own shop and, kind of reached out to me and said, here, let me help you out. Let me come down and visit you, and let's do some stuff. And that's when we started videoing and working with the Rag Company and doing this stuff, which has led me to be able to sit at a table with you guys and be a part of that. And one of the things that I feel like my goal with being the business development manager for the Rag Company is to be able to not only do this kind of stuff with you guys and get these to where we can all work together and have this kind of stuff, but also in the IDA is to be just another voice to help bring those guys up. Because I've been in it for 20 years. I've done it. I've worked in the sweatshop, so to speak, of detailing. But I've also had my own business, ran it, had some really fun times doing it and enjoying it. And being able to connect with you guys and be a part of it, opened it up, and I wasn't alone anymore. And I was able to grow. And doing the Wednesday night, or every Thursday, the third Thursday of the month, the webinars, that was one of the biggest things for me and my guys. And we'd flip the TV around on Thursday night after work, and we'd do a webinar, and we'd watch, and it was crazy to see Mike pop up on the screen and talk and go, hey, I'm doing this, or have Keith doing one, or Renny doing one, or Jason, you doing one, and being able to watch those and see those and be like, we're not alone, guys.
Yes,
we got a
absolutely.
crew. We got a group of guys that are all backing us. And so please, if you're not going to do anything this year, join the IDA at least and get started in it and take that first step. Start coming to these events, start learning, take pride in what you want to do, because like Justin says, it's changed his life, man. It's done a lot for you. Seriously.
Yeah, the past. I mean,
I mean, you're the president now of the IDA.
Hey, listen,
just
no,
saying,
but listen.
like,
One
you put in
show,
a lot.
4 years later, and the accomplishments that I
Yeah.
could go down a laundry list of now are just ridiculous. The resume, I should say,
Yeah,
that has been
yeah.
built, but it built value that I could bring back to my personal business and make my return on that.
But what's great is the way I look at it is the same thing as you go into a doctor's office and they've got, certification, diplomas, all this stuff. And for me, I never felt like we could ever achieve that.
No.
And then my wall in my shop was the same way as your wall in your shop. And having those pieces of paper put up meant a ton to me because I've always I tell my dad this, I still feel like I'm the 16-year-old kid washing his car in the driveway, even when I'm sitting with you guys.
And us doing that
Yeah.
sets standards for other detailers to want to do that.
Exactly.
Which sets the whole ripple effect of people seeing that and customers coming in and seeing that. And when they don't see that, then they question, well, why doesn't he have that?
Yeah,
What's
exactly.
wrong here? What's going on?
Yep. So I just want to say thank you to all you guys for sticking around, hanging out with us and doing this. And this has been awesome. And just thanks for listening, everybody. And thank you guys for all coming out and being part of this.
Thanks for hosting.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks,
One
Levi.
thing.
you.
The IDA website is.
Oh, Mr.
W.
President, you want to say that?
Yeah. It's Showroom Detailing. Oh, I'm sorry. Reflection or no. It would be the-ida.com.
Yeah.
So
Web-
THE
THE
Hyphen.
dash
hyphen.
hyphen.
Whatever.
Sorry.
Yeah.
IDA.com.
Well said.
It's a hashtag, not a
Yeah.
pound sign.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Tomato.
And if you're not a member, now's the time.
That's right.
The time is now.
This tide is rising. You're either in or you're not.
That's right.
Let's get you in.
Thanks,
good.
guys.
Nice.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jeff. Thank you.